Good afternoon, class of 2022. Congratulations, you've made it. Celebrate this moment in your life. This is truly a moment, hopefully a happy moment for you. This ceremony is a wonderful place to pause and to celebrate. There were many steps made to get you here, and there's far more steps that lie ahead of you. Graduating right now means that you've persevered through a lot of ordinary and extraordinary challenges. You showed strength by getting out of bed every day to continue your learning, bettering yourselves, and preparing for what the future has in store for you. You persevered even when the world came to a stop and stayed home. Schools all across the world switched to distance learning, and you all, every single one of you, kept going. I am so incredibly honored to stand here and share this moment with you. I ask you to find quiet time in the day to reflect on what it took to get you here today, to this moment. I invite all of you to think about both your disappointments as well as your triumphs. I also invite you to feel pride. You should be proud of yourselves, proud of your friends, and proud of your Gallaudet family. I too am proud. I'm incredibly proud to receive an honorary degree along with Dorothy Casterline and Carl Cronenberg. This honor represents the many small steps that they made to create a long-lasting ripple effect. The reason I'm here is because of the work done by both Dr. Casterline and Dr. Cronenberg. They spent endless hours and many days putting together the Dictionary of American Sign Language on Linguistic Principles in 1965. The significance of that book is that it proved American Sign Language as a real language and that there is truly a thriving deaf culture attached to that language. 57 years later, Doctors Casterline and Cronenberg are receiving their honorary degrees. I'm proud to be here and recognize them for their work. I'll also add that I'm a proud product of their findings. I am here as your peer. I, like you, am deaf. I, like you, went through college and faced challenges and overcame them. I, like you soon will, walked away from a very familiar environment and lifestyle into something brand new. I can remember the questions and the thoughts that ran through my head as I sat there wondering, where do I go next? Who will I be? What do I do now? And how do I succeed? And you know what? The answers to all of those questions are already inside you. All you need to do is to find your own pace in life. What does it mean, really, to find your pace in life? It means to do something at a speed that is steady and allows you to continue without becoming too tired. When you pace yourself, you're able to keep going without feeling burnt out or losing motivation. Push yourself, but take it easy. Take it easy, but you should also push yourself. Find your own pace. Your pace will not be the same as others. We all move at our own speed. Some will be moving faster than you, and others will be moving much slower. However, the most important thing is that you keep going. I'm a runner. I love running. And the reason I love running is because it's really my quiet time. And it makes my body feel really, really good. But the real reason why I love running is because running actually reminds me how to live my life. When I run, I have to pace myself. If I run too fast, too soon, I get tired really easily, or I might hurt myself. And then, because of that, I have to stop before I'm actually ready to stop. But if I run at too slow of a pace, then I lose motivation. I get bored, my body feels heavy, and then I stop. But if I pace myself and run at the right speed, then that means I can run and run and run for miles. And that makes me feel great. But that magic doesn't happen every day, because naturally, each day is different. So what do? I adapt. I change to different shoes, change different running routes. I'll also try to run at different times of the day. I plan ahead, I schedule all my runs, I make sure that I have all the running clothes that I need, as well as my running shoes and my watch anytime I travel, so that way I can run anywhere at any time. I actually watch and observe other people's runs. I read runners' stories, and I learn from them. I envision myself running in their shoes. By doing all of these aforementioned things, I can find the right pace for myself and succeed as a runner. All of those skills in running actually parlay directly into my work. I'm an actress, and with that, let me tell you a little bit about what it's like to work in TV and film. Getting a role is certainly not easy. Sometimes we're chosen, and sometimes we're not. There's a great deal of waiting that happens, and it requires a lot of patience. Shooting schedules change all the time. It's very hard to make plans. So often, when my shooting schedule suddenly changes, I end up having to cancel my plans. It depends on the weather, technical difficulties, other people's schedules. There's so many factors that go into that. I have to read a number of pages, translating English into American Sign Language, memorizing my lines, advocating for myself while on the set as a deaf actress, as a person of color. Often, our shoots are 10 to 12 hours a day. And a lot of the time, we end up going into overtime. We shoot in extremely challenging climates, and we find ourselves fighting against heat, wind, bugs, stiff and really tight wardrobes that are hard to zip up and get comfortable in. Many times, when I come home from a day of work, it's extremely late. At times, 4 in the morning. By the time I get home, I am filthy, sweaty, sticky, exhausted, but unable to sleep. After completing all of that hard work and pushing myself outside of my comfort zone, that's when I feel the impact of moving with intention. I've found my pace. And I also know that because of the result of hard work, the power of representation. There are changes that are happening for people who are deaf and hard of hearing. I'm supporting my community. This is what gets me out of bed each and every day. Similar to what Dorothy and Carl did for American Sign Language and deaf culture, it was accomplished by a long string of days, extremely long days. Some of those days were full of big and exciting findings, and some days it appeared nothing exciting came up. Those long days, when looked at alone, can feel like forever. But with consistency, those long days add up to a finished film. With Carl and Dot and their long days, what they added up to was a summation of language and culture being recognized, categorized, and formalized. The same holds true with my runs. Each step adds up to a finished race. And the same is true with life. Those steps that you're making, they go on to add up. So for you, my friends, I want to share with you a formula that I have. Now, I shared with you the importance of finding the right pace. Take a closer look at the word pace, P-A-C-E. Within that word, I see 4 important life skills, and that's my formula. The P is perseverance, A is adaptability, C is commitment, and E is empathy. Pace. Those life skills apply to all of you, regardless of your interests, passions, or dreams. Perseverance is something you already know. In fact, perseverance is the reason why you are here today, celebrating graduation. Congratulations. That's awesome. The pandemic hit, but you did not give up. You did not stop. You kept it going. You all know that some days it feels easier to keep on going than it might feel on other days. And some days you just want to stop and take a break. That's okay. Just make sure to get up again and keep going. The second part of pacing yourselves is adaptability. So remember, P was perseverance, which you succeeded in that. You adapted, and that's what the A stands for. The pandemic hit and you all adapted. Distance learning, what a challenge that was. I applaud each of you. For you to have to sit at your computer, watching all those tiny faces on the screen, navigating an online education, dealing with wearing masks and social distancing, could not have been easy. But nonetheless, you did it. You've shown your adaptability. And that is a life skill that will get you extremely far in life. Be strong and be flexible. Make changes so that you can continue doing what you want. Third part of PACE is C, commitment. So we've got perseverance, adaptability, and C, commitment. Commitment is a funny thing. Many times we're afraid to commit to something because we're afraid that means we'll be stuck or tethered to something. But in actuality, commitment means that you are free. Commitment is an important and a brave thing to do. Commitment gives purpose, a sense of direction in life, and ultimately, commitment is what propels you along your path. Commitment is also something that can be a very challenging skill to hold on to, and that's when perseverance and adaptability help you remain committed. You know what else helps you pace yourselves? Empathy. And that's what the E in PACE stands for. Empathy is when you listen and share and understand those around you. No one accomplishes things alone. Empathy helps us to connect and support as we move throughout our journey. And they too, others, will go on to support you along your journey. Empathy is what strengthens the experience of community. When you pace yourself, things get done. When you pace yourself little by little, you get closer to your destination. When you pace yourself, you can actually enjoy the journey. You are all change makers. After today, you're going to go out on your separate ways, but you'll still be connected through all of your shared experiences, beliefs, and values. Every day, you will find yourselves moving at a different speed, and that's okay. Some days, you will move faster than other days, and there will be other times that you may experience just quiet moments of rest. And those moments of rest absolutely need to happen too. Just know that your pace and that your journey is perfect for you and you alone. Graduates, congratulations on your achievement today. And tomorrow, persevere, adapt, commit, and empathize. Find your life pace and run free.
Thank you, Dr. Ridloff. Now, it is my pleasure to introduce the undergraduate student speaker chosen to address you today. Representing the undergraduate students is Molly Hand. Molly, please join us on stage for your address.
Proud families, friends, and Gallaudet University community, I would like to congratulate you, the class of 2022, for your hard work and perseverance in achieving your well-earned undergraduate degree here at our academic home. And Mr. Cook, thank you for accepting my invitation from Twitter, and it is an honor to have you here. Thank you, Mr. Cook. I want to introduce myself. I am Molly Annie, and I am from Canada. My education actually began as a young child at a deaf school, and I moved to a mainstream environment where I was fortunate to receive good support in and out of the classroom. However, my deaf community at home is small. Growing up, I used to feel closed off in my own little world. But deep inside, I really wanted to open the door to my world, to be opened, and not have limited access to communication. Not being able to fully socialize with my peers and not feeling truly included in my school and work discussions, I felt disconnected and not truly accepted as an equal. But here at Gallaudet, I found a very different community. Everyone was signing here, and I felt accepted. I felt my journey really started here at Gallaudet. I was feeling overwhelmed. I felt anxious and alone. I honestly didn't think I would actually belong here. However, Gallaudet provided many opportunities and enriching experiences for me to be able to meet role models who I look up to, meet invaluable individuals, discovering opportunities to develop career skills, and most importantly, I had a sense of belonging here. I want to thank Gallaudet from the bottom of my heart. Gallaudet is important because it is a large and interconnected world, and yet, at the same time, a small, close-knit community. As I've gotten to know my classmates, which many of you are graduating here today, what became clear to me is that each one of us had a unique story, revealing the challenges, struggles, and courage that brought us all here. And quite often, if not always, there are also shared experiences and goals that connected us and made this day possible. And I want to acknowledge and thank our families, caregivers, parents and families and friends, previous teachers that inspired and supported our dreams for us to become better. I want to thank Gallaudet alumni, former and current faculty and staff whose hard work and dedication helped create the paths that we now walk on and will blaze in the future. In the last few years, the world outside has rapidly changed, and we have faced new challenges, including leaving campus and adjusting to remote learning. While COVID pandemic had the impact of keeping us physically separated from one another and negatively affecting our sense of belonging, it provided an opportunity for technology to bring us together. Gallaudet and Apple worked together to ensure that all of the students, faculty members, and staff could learn and continue to work remotely through providing Apple MacBook laptops and iPads. I want to say that it has allowed us to continue to have a sense of community here at Gallaudet. So I want to really truly thank Mr. Tim Cook for making that possible for us here at Gallaudet and making that accessible for us to have a home away from home. I'm hoping that we're able to keep our MacBooks after graduation. Fingers crossed. I hope. But with that being said, as we move forward to the next phase of our lives, we should remember how important it is that the feeling of belonging acquired while completing our degrees should not be temporary. Our stories are not yet over. I would like to share one of my favorite quotes that I hope that you will always remember. You are braver than you believe. You are stronger than you seem. And you are smarter than you think. That's from Winnie the Pooh, and it's one of my favorite books that I loved reading growing up. As we here all have connected, I'm hoping to continue those close connections with each other. We came here to gain knowledge and skills and to discover more about ourselves and each other, and I want that to continue. Let's continue to support each other in our strengths, motivations, dreams, and let us go out and change the world and influence positive change as we step into this world. Thank you, Gallaudet, and again, congratulations to the class of 2022. Now I will have the pleasure of introducing Marlene. Marley Matlin. Marley is well known to all of you as the first deaf person to receive the Oscar. She won the Oscar for Best Actress in 1987 for her performance in Children of a Lesser God. At that time, she was and still is the youngest person to ever win the Best Actress Oscar. Gallaudet awarded Marley an honorary degree the same year, and she, like you, is a proud alumnus. She also served on our Board of Trustees and is now an honorary trustee. Marley has devoted her career to elevating the status of deaf people in the performing arts. She is a strong advocate for inclusion. She is here today to introduce our keynote, Mr. Tim Cook. Welcome, Marley.
Wow. What a wonderful day. I think I'll be standing here now. Thank you for that lovely introduction. It's great.